Yo, what's up, you guys? It's your boy 3 Stacks in this thing. I got a treat for you. We revived the man. We brought back my true king, Zings. Nowhere near at full power, of course. Those Jim and Dinlong are gone. But what this deck ended up turning into was kind of like a Calamities Counter Trap Turbo deck with extremely powerful combos. And the OTK potential of the deck is just stupid good. And you can still do the crazy setup where you have like Diagram and a Zing, or Diagram and a True King, and you can set up so you can Synchro Summon for Baxia on your opponent's turn and shuffle 3 of their cards. So that's still disruption, but it's better than like a couple negates, because when your opponent commits, like especially if they like go activate skill, you can shuffle the skills back. Or if they're playing Altergeist and they set their back rows, you shuffle 3 back rows before they end their turn. Summoning Baxia on your opponent's turn is still stupid. Summoning Black Rose in their turn is still stupid. Making Calamities turn 1 is still retarded. Like, this deck is still powerful. It's just like it doesn't have the consistency of Dinlong searching the counter traps more frequently. But now to supplement for that, we're playing 3 Zephyr Nui instead of 2, because you can special it off of your standard combo of Barastos or your Jiaotu, and then you just pop it with Baxia or the True Kings, and you use his effect. And he'll search your Zing or Zephyr Spell or Trap, which will be, your counter traps. So let's hop into the main deck without further ado. Now we've kind of explained the route and playstyle that we've gone with this deck to, kind of like help it to be stronger after the ban list. So we have 3 Agni Mazut, the Vanisher. He's one of the best play starters now because you want to reveal him and pop your Barastos in hand and like a Swanee. So like Diagram True King is just totally fine. You're always going to have a Zing no matter what. You're never opening with the hand with no Zings, I promise you. So if you have Diagram True King, it's fine, because you could pop any Zing. You just set it, pop it. It'll turn into whatever attribute you need. So if you have Diagram True King, you've got it, man. You really do. He's insane. And a cool thing about True Kings that most people don't realize is they resolve in hand. Like when you reveal them, like let's say I reveal this card and using his effect to summon him, and then you're like, that's fine. And then I'm summoning him, resolving his effect, and you try to strike it, it's too late. Like, when I reveal this card, that's your option to give me the green light or the red light. If you give me the green light, now everything's going off in one effect and you can't stop it. So I'm banishing the monster, I'm popping your monsters because Calamity's called fired, I'm breaking your board now, and you have no like choice because people don't know that that's how they work. Like, when you reveal them, that's the only chance you have to respond. And all 3 of their effects can resolve in one chain. Like, not even building chain links, like chain link 1. It's stupid. Like, True Kings are broken, dude. And then we have 3 Barastos. Barastos is like one of the most powerful combos ever. Calamities Call Water. Pop 2 of your monsters. Banish 2 of your back rows. Summon a 33 beater. Summon a 33 wall. And then also it helps you to clear your Calamities, because like turn 1, you detach on their standby. And then turn 2, like you detach so that you can break their board and summon these. So what you want to do is you want to make sure one of the monsters you pop is your own Calamities, so that you can summon a fresh one with 2 materials and go off again. Sometimes you can even summon the Calamities with 3 materials just so you get an extra turn out of them. Because if you read the card, he says 2 or more level 9 monsters. So like you can put more ammunition on them. It just depends how you open. But True King Zings is just stupid good. And then we have 3 Mariamne, one of the best cards to pop off Diagram. And then also she's another combo piece to pop your Barastos. Like, your goal is to reveal one of these other True Kings to hit Barastos, or even sometimes what you got to do is Barastos on Barastos, and it's totally fine. But ultimately, you're trying to resolve Magma Dragon, and you're trying to like spam the board and make Calamities, have counter traps, and have Zings to float so you can negate things, which is really good. So your 9 True Kings, you maximize on these. The background playing is American Wedding. Then for the Zings, we have 3 Jiaotus. Jiaotu is still insane. It just was not very fair when like you could resolve Jiaotu and then be on a +4. And then like if you have a Diagram, it just gets crazier. Like you Jiaotu, Dinlong, Baxia, float. Dinlong floats and the Baxia spam. Bring out Magma Dragon, special this, special that, and then effective search. And then when it leaves field, special, and then search this. Play this, draw. Like, there's just too much that happened after Jiaotu resolve, put it that way. It's kind of calmed down now, but you can still break boards with it. Like, it depends if your opponent lets it resolve or not. Like, if they let it resolve, then yeah, you can Baxia twice. Because you'll Baxia once, shuffle cards, pop him, bring this back, And then, you know, Synchro again into another Baxia, which is really strong. So Jiaotu is still insane. And even though you only play 3 of him, Diagram, Papa Yangzing, that special summons Jiaotu. Diagram popping Barastos, special summons Jiaotu. Diagram pop Mariamne, searches Jiaotu. So you can Jiaotu Turbo. Like, this deck can really Jiaotu Turbo if you want to. It just depends on the matchup. Like, if you're playing a matchup where you know, like, they either can't play hand traps or you know they just don't have the ass, then you can just Jiaotu Turbo the whole duel. Because, like, Jiaotu is the best play to make if it's not, like, a True King play. Then we play 3 Zephyr Nui, the new Lifeblood. Because Dinlog is banned, you have to play 3 of this now because you need a way to search your engine, to search your Yang Zing's paths and then your 9 pillars and just set up your board. Because like Calamities and Counter Traps can be any deck because Dracos are not going to be a threat. And because Masterpiece is gone, like you don't have to worry about, you know, him being unaffected by Calamities. So like even Dracos are still going to have to answer to Calamities, which is really strong. And then we have 3 Swanee. Swanee's insane. So Yang Zings, they're like a Synchro-based R-type. And what they all do pretty much is they have multiple effects. If they're destroyed by any means, they special another one of their cells from the deck. And what's going to happen is if the Yang Zings had 0 defense and they had attack points, they're going to special summon the Yang Zing in defense. If they had 0 attack but they had defense, they're going to special summon one in attack. Like, that's how they work. It's like a sword and shield kind of thing. In addition to them floating infinitely, practically, they all can Formula Synchron on your opponent's main phase or his battle phase and Synchro on their turn, which is busted. And then when you use them for Synchro materials, they make the Synchro unaffected by A, B, or C. So it's really good because like you can make Masterpiece kind of Synchros type deal. So this one, when you Synchro with it, the monster gains 500 attack and defense, and then he's a beater. He's 19. 3 Beyond, your Synchro cannot be destroyed by battle. Like this is stupid. Let me show you, because like you can still do the play where you can basically 9 pillars pop and then summon out Herald of the Arc Light on your opponent's turn, and then your 9 pillars becomes a heavier negate, because like it's like 2 negates now. Like it's just stupid. And this card is one of the main reasons, because you sync with him and Chi Win and then go into Herald of the Arc Light. And then the Herald of the Arc Light can't be destroyed by battle, so they have to activate an effect to get over it. And it's going to negate the effect. That's what makes it so cute. But yeah, he makes your Synchro to where your Synchro cannot be destroyed by battle, which is pretty impressive. Like, in the Draco matchup before, you know, we knew that Masterpiece was getting banned, we would summon Yazi with this and this. Yazi would be unaffected by traps, can't be destroyed by battle, and then he can't be targeted. So, like, Dracos can literally do nothing. They can't Apocalypse to have his attack. They can't beat over him. They can't pop him with Masterpiece because he can't be targeted. And they can't flip Monarch's Erupt to negate his effect because he's unaffected by traps. So, he literally sits there and they don't play Kaiju. So, that was like summoning Ultimate Falcon against him. But it's like without it being Ultimate Falcon, if it makes sense. And then 3 Big C. Big C makes your Synchros unaffected by traps. And he's awesome. The Yang Zings are the incarnations of the elements they symbolize. So, this is fire, this is water, this is earth. He's darkness. Then we have Wind, Pull Out, and he looks really cool. He has little tornadoes on him. So he makes your Synchros unaffected by spells. Believe it or not, when Brandish Maidens hit the meta scene, making your Synchros unaffected by spells is going to be so important. It's crazy. That's why I'm already playing 2 in my list, because I want to be ready. And then he's also a win target for your Mariamne. So like this deck is so perfect. Like True King Yang Zing's the best True King build, because you never have the issue of, oh, I don't have the right attribute. They're any attribute, and then you can turn this into any of these because they all float. So like, it's just stupid. And then we have 2 Chi Wins. Chi Win is just an extender in Grave, and then when he floats, he summons anything in any battle position, which is important. And then he's a tuner that comes back from Grave. So like, if a Yang Zing is destroyed, you can put him as Chainlink 2 and the Yang Zing as Chainlink 1. The last thing that happened was still the Yang Zing being destroyed, so its effect's not gonna miss timing. But you could just put him as Chainlink 2 so that it won't get ashed, which is really cool. Another thing in mind, Yang Zings are win effects, not if effects. So if, for example, I activate let's say I have a card that pops cards. Let's say, for example, I have Spiral Sleeper. I'm playing Spirals. And I activate Terraforming, and you don't respond to Terraforming. Then I chain Sleeper and pop your Yang Zings. Now, the last thing that's happening is Terraforming resolving, so the Yang Zings will miss timing. That's something that's really important that you have to keep in mind when you're playing Yang Zings. you have to have good card knowledge and understand how win effects work so that you yourself don't play yourself. So that's just, you know, friendly advice for you guys if you plan on playing Zings, because I have a lot of experience with this deck. A lot. I have, I think, at least 5 years under my belt playing Zings. And then we have a Magma Dragon because he's the best extender in the whole deck. He's just so good, bro. Like, Magma Dragon is like, this card's not fair because you get him off Barastos, and now after that, every turn, your Baxia pops, specials him, he special summons something else, which is True King, and you just make, like, crazy stuff. But back when we had Magma Dragon and then Lithosagem and Dinlong, like, it was just too much. Like, this deck was just way too strong. Then for the spells, we have 3 double Ds, Oracle of Zephyra, because you can search. You can actually activate this, but it's here because we play 3 terraformings and a set rotation, because you want to have 7 diagrams, right? Optimus Prime searches diagram, you know, set rotation gets it, and then it rapes field spell decks like ABCs, etc., you know, because they can't activate Oracle because they're not playing Zephyrs, which is really cool. So these are your, you know, your play starters. Now I'm actually playing 3 path. Before I was playing 2, but it's just really important, like, because we can't search path off of Dinlong, you actually have to hard draw it sometimes because, like, you're not always going to be able to search it. So, like, playing 3 so you can see it, it actually makes a difference. And even when you draw it turn 1, I promise you're going to be able to resolve it because this deck, like, it accelerates really quickly. And, like, you'll have 4 or 5 names engraved, like, no problem. And then for your traps, we play 3 9 Pillars, Zephyr Divine Strike, and True King's Return. So these are all searchable off of your Zephyr Nui. Like, this, you play a 3, you can hard draw it. And then, like, Zephyr Nui, you want a 4th target because, like, when your 3rd Zephyr Nui goes to the extra deck, you know you're never going to see Zephyr Nui for the rest of the duel. So, like, you want to maximize on your value and mitigate for that issue where you can't see it anymore by searching this. Because now, like, you can get that last bit of value out of him, and then you have an additional negate that they never see coming because, like, you're playing Zings, right? So, like, Zephyr Divine Strike's an awesome one-of, and it's live all the time. And then True King's Return, because you can summon, like, for example, you can in-phase return and summon Calamities. And if your matchup is correct, like, if you're playing a deck that plays fire, water, or wind monsters, you can reveal your True Kings as long as one of the monsters is the attribute that matches them. You can pop both of your opponent's monsters to summon it, because at least one of them has to be fire. So just a basic example, like I said, all it has to be is a deck that plays either or. So even Ultra guys, they play waters, they play Molisi. Gokis, unfortunately, they play Earths. But like Meg Knight, Invoke, you know, they play like Invoke fusions that have different attributes. But what I'm saying is, if any of the decks have a monster that has one of these attributes, you in-phase True King's Return, summon Calamities in the main monster zone, and then you just reveal this. You can pop their monsters still as long as one of the attributes is one of these. You pop 2 of their monsters, you summon a True King, because Calamities doesn't have to detach to do that. While he's on the field, your True Kings can destroy your opponent's monsters instead of yours to summon themselves. So it's like so busted and one-sided. Like, that's just one of the things you can do in return. But you always do it on in-phase because remember, you can't special after you resolve this. And Zings have to special and have to float. So you never do this on your opponent's standby and then, like, they Raigeki you and now you can't special anything. You do it on in-phase. And it just helps you to put more pressure. Because, like, multiple Calamities is stupid. Because, like, you can always pop their monsters now. So, yeah, like, really, really good. That's it for the main deck. Like I said, it's Calamities Turbo with counter traps. So, here we go. Extra deck. So, let me get this a little organized. Alright, there we go. So, we played 2 True King of all Chlamydia. Now, you can play 3 of this card, but duels never last long enough. And then on top of that, like, after you've resolved his effect to stall your opponent for turn 2, you don't need his effect to stall anymore. Like, you make him so that you can break their boards with the True Kings. But also remember, you play True King's Return so you can always summon him and then use his effect to pop their monsters anyways without detaching. So, like, 2 is pretty fine to me. Like, sometimes I make it with 3 or 4 materials just so I can get the maximum value out of it. But I was like, 2 is fine. And then I play the Phantom Fortress because, like, some matchups, Calamities is not, like, enough. And then there's also times when, like, you're just trying to push, right? Like, you're like, all right, well, I'm pretty much set up. I know that they just have 1 card in hand, and, like, I just want to get rid of that card in hand. Or, oh, they have Graveyard. Like, they have a really disgusting card in grave. And like, you can use Agni, Mazuda, and Barastos to banish monsters and spell traps from grave as well. But if you can't resolve their effect, you kind of got to use this. Like, if it makes sense, this card just comes up for those weird scenarios. So I play him instead of the 3rd Calamities. And then I do play 3 Baxia because he's the best synchro to go into. This deck, like, there's a point in time when people used to say Baxia should be banned because this card is stupid good. Like, it's pure engine. Once you summon it, it lets you summon everything else. Then we have Chao Feng. You make this in a Spiral matchup, like they lose. You make this in any matchup, they automatically lose because you have every attribute. You have Light, Dark, Earth, Water, Wind, Fire. So whatever attributes you use to make this card, as long as they're Yang Zings, your opponent, monsters, your opponent's possession cannot activate their effects if their attributes are the same. So, like, if you're playing a certain matchup, you know what their attributes are heavy on. Like, if it's Goki's, you just make him using an Earth. Now, all their effects are done. They can't use their effects at all. And it affects the player and not the monster. So, even if a monster is unaffected by monster effects, it still has to answer the Chao Feng. So, he's just stupid good. And then, like, he's a level 9, Calamities. Yazi, because Yazi's retarded. You can play Mare in this deck if you want to, just for Yazi, but consistency matters. I don't play one of bricks. Like, I just don't do it. Not in this deck. And then we have Metaphys Horus, because you can make them on your opponent's turn to disrupt their plays. Make them give you, I think, the effect monster one. Yeah, that's the one where you can negate. So, not the take, but the one where you just, out of nowhere, synchro, and then negate the effect of that card. So, it's really, really good. And then we have Black Rose, Don Dragster to make more negates. And then we have Christiana Matrix. You make it on your opponent's turn, switch everything to D. And then it's a water for your Barastos in the follow-up, so you can clear it out of your extra monster zone. Another thing is, you don't need to play Lynx because your extra monster zone gets cleared by Diagram, Baxia, and True King. So it's never going to be an issue where it's clogged or something's occupying it. Like, even if they floodgate trap hole you, you just Diagram pop. So it's totally fine. And then we play Samsara because he's Monster Reborn on legs, literally. We play Armades because it's just a good synchro. And then we play Herald of the Arclight for the combos where you 9 pillars them, and then you make this, and then you negate again. And then while it's on the field, like, their stuff gets banished too, so, like, it's really good. No lie, True King Yang Zings are still broken. Like, I'm just keeping it real. They really are. They're still broken. But, like, it's not the same. And because I play this deck at its full power, I know what it can do. It really upsets me, and it makes me very sad whenever I play this deck because I know what I can really do if I still had Denlong and Lithosagem. But the deck is still stupid. It's still powerful. So yeah, that concludes the deck profile for all of you guys that I made fans of this deck. Like, this was for you. Because I know a lot of people loved it when I was playing True King Yang Zings and they loved my updates on it. But like, the ban list, it really, like, it hurt a lot. But yeah, you guys, I hope you enjoyed it. God bless you. Make good choices. Don't hurt your brain cells. Definitely stay tuned for future content. I've got one more deck to do, and I'm going to sleep because I'm super tired. Like, this is crazy. Like, it's like 6 in the morning. But peace, yo.